up? Good morning. I had kind of an interesting morning today. I'll tell you about it. Um, yeah. Anyway, as you all know, or I'm sure most of you know, at least people who live in North America and who deal with Walmart know, Walmart is pushing hard for the self-checkout. They want that. They don't want cashiers. They want self-checkout. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this before. I think I have on here, but for the record, I'm dead set against it. 100%. Now, what happened this morning, this happened one other time too. I was there and they had no cashiers on. It was all self-checkout. It was in the morning like it was this time. And they were trying to funnel everybody into the self-checkout, which I wouldn't do it, and they opened the cash and ran my stuff through, and of course they weren't happy about it. They did it, but they weren't happy about it. But I knew then that this day would come, and it has come. Today, I'm in there, and again, no cash is open, and the guy's trying to direct me into the self-checkout. I told him I will not use those machines. Now, he said, you won't have to. I'll run it all through for you. You won't have to do a thing. And I said, no, I won't have any part of those machines. Now, that may sound unreasonable on the surface, and many of you may disagree with me. The property owner here disagrees with me. He was quite angry with me for that because he drove me into town, and I embarrassed him by doing what I did. But anyway, and he's told me no more rides into town, which is fair. I mean, he don't have to bring me into town, and I don't want to embarrass him. That's not why I did what I did today. It's unfortunate. Embarrassing the man was just a side effect of what I did, you know. Now, I would do it again if the same situation came up, and therefore it's probably better if he doesn't take me into town because we are friends, and the friendship wouldn't last, you know, if this was an ongoing thing. He disagrees with me about the self-checkouts. He's told me that before. He doesn't see any issue with them. He says it's no different than pumping your own gas. So, anyway, we disagree about it, that's all. And that's fine. We're entitled to disagree. You know, that's one of the beautiful things about being free, is that I'm entitled to think one way, and he's entitled to think another way, and another person's entitled to think another way. Now, the reason I wouldn't let that man run my stuff through the self-checkout is because it's a gradual process. This is what they do. They get you closer and closer to where they want you to be by getting you to give in to little things. And see, what would have happened is he would have then tried to show me how it works, and he would have been telling me how neat it is, and oh, look, see, it's so easy, you just, you know, and you just like this, and I wouldn't have been interested, and there still would have been a scene, because I would have told him flat out I wasn't looking to be trained as to how to use the thing, because I had no intention of ever using it. And so there still would have been a scene at some point. There was no way there was not going to be a scene, and I saw that coming. Like I say, very nice young man. I have no issue with him personally. It's not, my fight isn't with him, it's with the corporation. It is specifically with these self-checkouts that they're pushing that I disagree with. And so, like I say, and the same thing, my fight isn't with the property owner here either. I think very highly of the man. Look, when nobody else helped me, he did. So he was a true friend to me when other people either wouldn't or couldn't help me. And he did so, even caused a lot of problems in his family here. There were family members who were dead set against it. In fact, there's one brother who's going to inherit this property someday, and I've already been put on notice. When he inherits this property, I'm gone. And he likes me, and I like him. We get along fine. You know, he's come to know me and everything, and I regard him as a friend. I wouldn't say a close friend, but a friend. And I understand that when he inherits this place, this will be his property, and he will be entitled to do as he pleases. Now, his objection to me being here has nothing to do with me, at least not at this point, because he has gotten to know me, and he does like me. And like I say, I like him too. I think he's a good guy. no issue with that man. But it's because my being here is illegal. And he's connected with people, who are, he knows people who are in law enforcement and stuff like that. And he's very much for following the laws. And so when this is his property, he can't very well, having taken a stand for following the law, allow a situation to exist on his property, which is illegal. And my being here is illegal. Make no mistake about that. You can't live the way I'm living legally. Even if you have permission from the property owner, all that does is mean that the property owner becomes your partner in the illegal enterprise. So that's it. Anyway, bottom line is I've been put on notice. There'll be no more rides to town, which is fair. I have no issue with that either. I'm just going to have to make my own way into town. I'm a big boy. I can do it. It's going to be more hardship for sure, especially in the winter time. But I'll do it. There'll be no issues there at all. Now, as far as Walmart goes, I don't know if I'm trespassed from the property at this point or not. But basically what happened is I refused to go through the self-checkout, even to allow the man to do it while I stand there and watch him. And I just left the cartload of groceries there. I said, I won't have any part of those machines. And he kept trying to convince me, and I said, no. I said, I'll leave this stuff here. And he said, oh, well, and I said, doesn't matter. I'll leave the stuff here. And that's what I did. I just left the cart, and I walked out. And anyway, the property owner here says I caused a scene. Maybe I did. I don't really feel like it was a big scene. There was no yelling or anything like that, and it didn't last very long. If it was a scene, it was a scene that maybe was a 30-second long scene, maybe a minute at the most. And I just walked out peacefully. I didn't cuss anybody out. I didn't threaten anybody. There was no violence or anything like that. It was very civilized on both sides of it. It was very civilized. And like I say, I have no issue with the property owner here. I have no issue with the man at Walmart. I have an issue with the self-checkout machines. And like I say, I knew where it was going. This is what they do. They don't have a cashier on, and they force you to go through there. And then, that's what would have happened. He would have started trying to train me how to use the machine. Because that's what they're doing, they're pushing for that. Anyway, like I say, a property owner and I disagree about the machines. He says they're more efficient and he likes them. Now, in my case, if I was hired as a cashier at a store, I wouldn't last very long. Because I just don't have those skills. And if I was doing self-checkout, I'd be screwing it up a lot. And I know down in the United States now, they're starting to lay charges against people if they don't do it right. They figure you're stealing from them, and in some cases, that may be true. It probably is true in some cases. In my case, it wouldn't be a matter of maliciously stealing from anybody. It would be a matter of just not being competent to run the machine. I'm not competent when it comes to things like that. Years ago, I worked in a butcher shop briefly, and I don't think I was ever able to finish one transaction on a cash register in there. They always had to get somebody to come and complete the transaction for me because I'd have it all screwed up. That machine would make noises that I've never heard a cash register make before. So, it's just not for me, that's all. And I disagree with it in principle as well. Because, again, it's all part of getting the system in place of the social credit, central bank digital currency, and all that. This is all part of it. Right now, there are places in the world where they have stores where there are no staff. And you can't get in or out of there unless you have a special card, and so on like that. That's what's coming here. That's what's coming here. And when the social credit system comes in, if you are not in favor with the government, then your card won't work. You won't even be able to get into the store. You won't be able to get through the doors. And that's what's coming. And I see it in these checkout things that they're coming up with now. So for me, there's no give on these things, There's no give when it comes to mask wearing. There's no give when it comes to the checkout, the self-service checkouts. There's no give when it comes to taking COVID shots and booster shots and all the rest of it. There's just no give there. I won't have any part of any of it. Soon they're going to come up with the digital ID, which will be followed by the central bank digital currency. I won't participate in that either, which will mean that I won't be allowed to shop anyway. They're going to try to starve me to death at that point, and anyone else who takes the stand I'm taking. So, and that's coming sooner than most people think. It's coming very quickly. Like, it's coming more and more than likely, it's coming before 2025. Within the next 2 years, we're going to see that. It'll probably be voluntary at first, and then it will be mandatory. Anyway, like I say, that's where we're at. It is what it is. I've taken a stand. I'm going to pay a price for the stand I've taken. I paid a price today. I didn't get the things that I needed out here. I ended up not getting the supplies I needed. So I did, and I upset the property owner, who was gracious enough to let me stay here, and I've lost now the privilege of getting a ride into town. And so now I'm going to have to walk 2 miles each way, pushing a wheelbarrow in the wintertime too. And that'll be to get propane and groceries and anything else I need. So there is going to be hardship connected to it. But this is nothing compared to the hardship that's coming for those of us who will not participate. And I tell you, if you're going to take a stand, you better be prepared for this, because it's coming for you. It is. It's coming for all of us. But in the end, taking a stand, for the sake of my conscience, I feel that I have to, no matter who I upset, even if I upset people I think